I have just launched a new PlanetM Startup Grant. It's about $1 million that will be spent over the next 12 months or so. And there's two legs to the grant. The first leg of the grant is around testing. So what we found in talking to global mobility companies is one of the barriers to testing on the closed test tracks is cost. So we've worked with M-City, which is a 50-acre test site at the University of Michigan, and American Center for Mobility, which is a 500-acre test site at the old Willow Run Airport. And so what we've set up is that we will fund up to 75% of the cost to test at those two sites for startups. The second leg to this grant is around pilots. So that is going to be, so global mobility startups can also apply. You do not have to be present or have any full-time equivalents in the state of Michigan, but they would apply to receive a grant around pilot deployment. So what we were trying to do, and the objective of the grant as a whole, is to actually deploy and test new mobility technologies on Michigan roadways. So with this pilot aspect of it, we have hired as a project manager, we're really excited, is the Next Energy Center. So the team from Next Energy is going to help us to deploy these grants over the next 12 months, and we anticipate that we will deploy a minimum of 10 pilots over the next 12 months. Next Energy is going to be a critical partner. They are going to help us select the pilots, so they're going to be a critical component to all of this, which is why we've selected Next Energy is for their expertise. We are going to have 3 rounds for the pilots. The first deadline is October 1st, 2018, and then there'll be deadlines in February and June for the other rounds as well. And we will be deploying that over time, so what we're not going to do is necessarily grant all of it right up front. So as Next Energy, as our partner, we want to make sure that we spread this out over a period of about a year. A mobility startup would apply for the grant with a partner. So they would come to the table, whether it's a municipality, a community group, but they would have already pre-identified, or maybe it's a fleet operator, but a partner that would come to the table that would offset, because they do have to fund 25% or more of the grant, because we're going to offset up to 75% of the cost of the grant to deploy it. We really are looking for a diverse set of mobility technologies, and so we define that as basically we have connected, automated, shared, and electrified, so it's very broad. There's no right or wrong answer. We will explore any different type of technology. We're not going to this is not something that we want to make sure that we're just testing on a roadway just again to test it, but we want to make sure that we're solving a real problem for Michiganders.